Hey, good evening. It's Monday, May 8th. Really great to start another week with you. Do something a little bit different tonight. But talk about how we communicate with each other based upon the way that God is directing us to talk to our children. We need to talk from our hearts. The title of the video is This Little Boy. And a father's instruction to him is essentially, hold on with your heart. Hold on with your heart. At the beginning of Proverbs chapter 4, it's an autobiographical section where Solomon is remembering the words that his father David said to him. And it says something roughly like this: My son, lay hold of my commands with your heart. Keep them and you will live. Lay hold of my commands with your heart. Keep them and you will live. You see, David is experienced seeing what happens when children don't live from the heart. When they are not overcome with the goodness and wonder of God, but instead are overcome with their own desires, their own wants, their own set of needs, their own set of needing to be great or to be the center of attention. But from Deuteronomy on out throughout the rest of Scripture, we have a very different story of the way truth is to be presented. Even when Jesus was talking to the disciples on the Emmaus Road and he explained the truth to them, what is their response? Well, didn't we learn a lot? Weren't we amazed with his intellect? No, what we read in Luke 24 is this: did not our hearts burn within us as he talked to us? What Proverbs is saying, but David is trying to communicate to Solomon in areas where he failed very miserably. Lay hold of my words with your heart. Keep them and you will live. He's not talking about a list of rules and regulations. He's not even talking about keeping the law. Because what is the ultimate command of God? Deuteronomy says it, Matthew says it, whole Scripture says it. Love the Lord your God with all of your heart. Deuteronomy says, what does God require of you but to love him? Deuteronomy 6, we read about these commands being in the hearts of the parents, of the teachers, and then repeating these things over and over again. Not rules and regulations, not do's and don'ts, but being blown away by the awesome wonder of God. See, David knew that, but he had not communicated that to his children. So when he's talking here, and Solomon's recording the words that David said to him, we get kind of a little window into what's really important. With your heart, lay hold of my words. Keep them and you will live. In other words, if it's not coming, if we as parents, as friends, as people who want to help, if it's not coming from this thing of the heart, this inner person, it's not a physical location, this inner person, if it's not coming from the person that's really you, then it's a fraud. Maybe it'll be the right things, but it's a fraud. And you want to reach that heart of the child. You want to reach that heart of the person you're talking to. If you're a pastor, you want to grasp the heart of the people that hear you. I don't care if you're a parent, a teacher, a friend. Take this model of what's happening here in Proverbs 4. Basically, you're telling this little child, which I think is a model for all of our communication, hold on with your heart. Because the flood of pain, difficulty, challenge, your own sin, your own deception, the deception of others, the abuse of others, if you're not hanging on with your heart, you're going to be swept away in it. Just as David saw so many of his children swept away. And he's pleading with this one who got it for at least a little while. Hang on with your heart. There's a reason why we're losing our children. There's a reason why we're distant with them. Because we're giving them things to do, standards to keep. And our acceptance of them is based upon how well they perform, rather than trying to take what is inside of us that has been gripped by the power of God and communicate that to them to God and cry out to the Spirit of God to make it real in the lives of those that we teach and hear, in the lives of our children. Remember this little boy's face. What he needs in this life, more than anything else, is to be told, to be loved, to be cared for, to be protected, to be valued by someone who is committed to taking the love that God has poured into his heart and crying out to his child, hold on with your heart. That's where life is. Pray with me about this. Hold on with your heart. Nothing else really matters. And we'll talk a little more tomorrow. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for starting the week with me. Such a huge honor and privilege. And the Lord bless you. And we'll see you soon. Good night. Thank you so much for watching. It is such a huge encouragement.